welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition of the PondCast episode 82, your weekly dose of all things StarCraft. I'm, of course, your Sty VIP, with you and joined by, of course, our lovely producer Kuro, and of course by the people in the chat as well. Welcome, one and all, as we are back. We are here, and it's time to catch up on the week of StarCraft. Let's go, bye, let's go. First, we do have a new interview. Shout out to the SCHistorian. The SCHistorian, he has produced a new interview here with the founders of Exxon from way back in the day, a couple of years ago at this point. I will say very quickly, though, it does feel like this is a little bit dated. The SCHistorian did actually express on Twitter, did express on socials, that he did apologize for the delay on this interview being released, that there were some things that, did hold that up, of course, and that did delay things from happening, and because of that, the interview is being released a little bit late. Because of that, some of the topics in the interview do date this quite a bit, and they do kind of make things a little bit awkward. There were some questions asked about, whether they think that EWC will continue with StarCraft, or in regards to the future of the new StarCraft IP, and also the future of Microsoft and the handling of Blizzard as well. And a lot of these questions that were asked now, we do have more context and more information to make kind of more educated assumptions, or have better understandings, or have better answers to these sort of things, or just have an answer to some of these questions. So I will say that this is a little bit dated, unfortunately, and at least we're able to get to hear their perspectives on some of these questions, but that does kind of that is a little bit of an awkward portion of the interview. What I will say, though, is that it is fun to hear from them, I should say, when it comes to their beginnings, how they founded Exxon, how they found MaxFax. MaxFax was a part of Exxon back in the day, back when he was very young. They had a very fun story talking about it, when they first were paying MaxFax's salary. He had never gotten a salary before, and his parents thought that it was a scam. his parents were very against it, because they're like, mate, what, these guys want to give you money for playing games? What the fuck's going on? So his parents were very distrusting, and they actually didn't allow MaxFax to share his any information regarding himself. So they were very restrictive of that. I mean, that's kind of alluded to nowadays as well. But they were very restrictive of any kind of information, and they also didn't allow MaxFax to share his PayPal information. Fun fact: the first couple of months of salary that MaxFax was getting was actually going to his father. So his father's PayPal instead. And then once, after a little bit, then his parents came around. They're like, you know what? Like, everything seems legit. Like, they're sending money on a regular basis. Okay, they can pay you directly now, sort of thing. But yeah, there was definitely some fun little stories like that. Again, they were talking about their early days and early beginnings, how they got into gaming, how they got into StarCraft, and even talking about the acquisition of SciStorm, how SciStorm eventually did acquire Exxon, if you recall, and Drikett got better standings in SciStorm with KJ and of that. So yeah, it's definitely fun. If you're a little bit more ingrained or in tuned with StarCraft, then these are things that you can get greater context for. Otherwise, maybe these are things that you're hearing for the first time. So yeah, it was a fun little interview. Again, I would say the first half is the more interesting portion, where these questions are being asked. The later half is where things do get a little bit more dated and a little bit more awkward as a result of that. But regardless, shout out to the SCHistorian for putting a bit of a limelight on Exxon, and on some on a big part of the NA StarCraft scene, especially from the COVID era of StarCraft. If you remember Exxon, they're a relatively new portion or new team. Again, they started around 2020, 2021 era of StarCraft, and eventually again were acquired by SciStorm Gaming. But really cool to hear some greater context and some backstory to the owners and to the team itself. Yeah. So again, do check it out. I do recommend it. That's over on the SCHistorian's YouTube channel. Up next, do you have our next piece of news? That is Lowko. Lowko, papi. Is a papi. Again, we had already known of this, but again, congratulations to Lowko and his partner for now becoming a greater family here, becoming parents, welcoming Bella to the world. Bella is their lovely daughter. If you follow them on socials, they have been posting as of late, talking about staying up late at night and looking after their newborn as well. So again, a new journey here. This also does explain, I think Lowko has been very cool about this as well, how content is going to slow down down, whether it's streaming, casting, videos, content creation, is going to slow down in the near future, just a little bit, just because, of course, now he's a pappy. Now he's a pappy, so there are other priorities or other things happening that he has to be, of course, aware of and has to look after. I can relate with Mis Cejitas. True. Ay. So yeah, that's why. If you're curious as to why maybe there's less streams, less casts, less content, less StarCraft from Lowko, is because now he is a pappy and he's got some other obligations. He's got a family to look after. For sure. So again, congratulations to Lowko and then the Lowko family, I should say, for welcoming Bella into the world. Congratulations. Ay. We're all becoming pappies, all following Jaime's footsteps. Shaking my head. Another big piece of news here, which is kind of an announcement of an announcement, is we have a new game studio, A-Move Games. Appreciate the reference, but it is a new game development studio or game development team that has recently kind of hit the field. Again, very, very recent here over the past couple of weeks. Is when they made their socials, when they made their website, and there's very little to really sink our teeth into, is what I will say. They have their own websites. They have kind of like vague and general goals when it comes to their team and what they're doing. Again, more announcements to come, but this is important just because this is the ex-development team of Battle Aces. Battle Aces, if you recall, was one of the up-and-coming RTS-esque games that was soon to be released, that was pretty well far in development. There was a lot of hype around it, a lot of excitement around it, and beta testers and players themselves were enjoying it quite a lot. It was being funded by and developed by Tencent, and they did eventually cut the development of the game. It kind of like caught everyone off guard. But suddenly they did cut funding, they did cut development, and Battle Aces did get scrapped as a result. Looks like that same team is coming together to create another game, RTS-esque as well. It does say RTS game developers, and it does the one kind of thing that we have here that we can go off is it says fast action real-time strategy. So it is going to be an RTS game of some kind. Bearing in mind, of course, it shouldn't be like a clone of Battle Aces. I'm sure there's like some kind of forms they have to fill out, and obviously just because they worked on one thing doesn't mean they can necessarily transfer what they worked on into another studio, into another game. But it looks like they have plans to create something themselves. From my understanding, it does seem like a little bit more indie, of course, so limited funding, but they are working on something, and they're going to be announcing something, and I mean, sounds exciting, right? These guys, they clearly have a vision, they clearly have something that they want to bring to the people and to the player base, and yeah, we'll see what that kind of entails. It's still too early to really speculate too much. All we know that it's going to be RTS-esque, or we know that it's the ex-development team of Battle Aces, and that's kind of all we really have. And more news to come in the future. More news to come. It does say estimated 2026 North America. I don't know what that means.
I think that means established, not estimated.
Okay, established. I was gonna say that from my understanding, we're gonna be showcasing. They're gonna be unveiling their project soon. It's called Project Marionette. But again, what that really means, that we'll find out soon, one day. So again, it's important to keep our eyes open for what's to come here, and yeah, definitely exciting to see what's to come in the future from Team Amus, or A-Move Games. So best of luck in their endeavors, best of luck in their development of the game. Again, I'm sure it's not going to be easy, and I look forward to what they have to bring forward in the future. Up next, we have our major premier events that have been around the corner. They've been really rising up, I should say. First thing is first, the RSL, the Rival StarCraft League Season 4. We did cast the qualifiers, if you recall. They were last weekend. Last weekend with the qualifiers, it was 24 hours of non-stop qualifier, back to back to back to back. We casted the Americas qualifier and the Korean qualifier. We did not cast the European qualifier. It was a little bit of a rough time for us, so we did not cover it. I'm sure it was covered by other casters. First things first, let's delve into the qualifiers themselves. The Americas qualifier was the first one to take place at a more centralized time, and we did actually have some Americas representation. We had some Koreans here. We had Byun. Byun did step in, took down Ruxus 2-0, took down Sort of 2-0, and took down Percival 3-1 to qualify for the main event. So congratulations to Byun taking down Percival. Was an intense best of 5. It was best of 5 of the qualifying matches. That led us down into the lower qualifying match. Shin took down SOS 2-1, took down Chem 3-2. Cham had a crazy performance, by the way. Cham, he 2-0'd Creator, and he went all the way to the ace match against Shin. It was insane. Very close, very clutch. We could have seen Cham make it through then and there. It would have been crazy. I mean, even then, he had an amazing performance. Shin did qualify over Cham, and Cham qualified as well over Percival. The way these qualifiers work, top 3. Top 3 do qualify for the events, top 2 from the main bracket, and there is a bronze match as well to determine the final player to also make it through. So congratulations to Byun, Shin, and Cham for qualifying for the RSL. GG. GG all played. That led us that evening into the Korean qualifier. That was, I think, 1.5 hours late. It was under 2 hours. Under 2 hours after the fact. Also, I should emphasize that because the qualifier was going so long, and because there was so little time between qualifiers, both players agreed on a best of 3 for that bronze match. It was supposed to be a best of 5, but players did agree on a best of 3. That's why it's a best of 3 instead. Just as a heads up. That led us into the green qualifier. Here we had Bunny. Bunny took down Perceive 2-0, took down Creator 2-0, and Barely took down SOS 3-2 as well, also qualifying for the main event. So congratulations to Bunny. Listen to Trigger. Trigger has been on fire as of late. Trigger, I mean, again, remember, he took down Clem recently as well in a big Premier tournament in a best of 5, took him down 3-2. Here, Trigger takes down Gumiho 2-0 and takes down Rogue 3-0 as well. Trigger looking like a beast here. He even took down Raynor at Home Story Cup 2-0 as well. Like, it's crazy. So Trigger has been on fire. He does qualify without dropping a single map into the main event. That led us into the final qualifying match, SOS versus Rogue. They also did agree on a best of 3. They agreed on a best of 3 here. Again, qualifier was lasting a long time, so they were very fatigued, of course. Rogue did qualify barely over SOS 2-1. So Bunny, Trigger, and Rogue qualified for the main event. And again, we did cover both of these on our channel. We didn't cover the European one, and I actually don't know who qualified through the European one, so let's find out together. Over for the European qualifier, we actually did have some Korean representation here. Ooh, okay, so Max takes down Azura 2-0, takes down Shameless 2-0, and takes down Creator 3-0. Oh my god, Max not dropping a single map does make it through from the European qualifier. Meanwhile, we had Percival. He did also, as a notable, did compete, but went down to Jumi early on. Likewise, went down to Creator. Scrolling down, we have Kior. He also didn't compete in the qualifiers. There's another player that I'll bring up as well, but for now, Kior, he actually didn't compete in the Korean or the Americas qualifier, so he was missing. So we just assumed he wasn't going to play, but he showed up for the European qualifier. So let's go. Did show up. He took down Ledlex 2-1, took down Mana 2-0, and took down Cristiano 3-2. Oh my god, went all the way to the ace match map. Yeah, este Cristiano. Cristiano, he took down the GG Machine 2-0, Showtime 2-1, and went to the ace match against Cure, and then eventually qualified 3-0 over Creator. Insane run there by Cristiano. Very well done, very well played, impressive. Bearing in mind that, of course, the Europeans did have the server advantage. That's the advantage of playing in the European server qualifiers, that they can force the European server. So there is that ping advantage, but even despite that, like, that's still a really, really impressive performance here by Cristiano to take down Showtime, who had equal ping, to take down and force the ace match at a Cure, and also to take down Creator as well. So very impressive play there by Cristiano. GG. So congratulations to our final players making it through. Looks like there wasn't any English coverage, unfortunately, for the European qualifiers, but Indy did cover it in Polish. So Indy did cover that event. Meanwhile, now we have our final set of players, at least through the qualifiers, and also invites from the previous season. So quickly going over the final standings and the final players, we have for Protoss, Classic, Hero, Zan, Trigger, Cristiano, and Maxpax. Oh, we got our 6 Protoss players. Meanwhile, for Terran, we have Byun, Bunny, and Cure. For Zerg, we have Raynor, Cham, Shin, and Rogue. Okay, we got a hefty lineup of players. And bearing in mind, this is not the final lineup, because we do have 3 players yet to be voted into via the fan vote. So fan voting will soon, if not already, open. That's open to patrons. So if you're a patron member, there might be a specific tier you have to subscribe to in Patreon, on the Patreon, but you'll be eligible to vote on who you want to take place and who you want to be a part of RSL. Now, bearing in mind that the fan vote doesn't entail any player, players that are available for fan voting are limited by who signed up for qualifiers. So, for example, Maru did not sign up. Maru is ineligible to be voted on for the fan vote as a result of that. Another big player that's missing here, Solar. Solar. He is the best Zerg player in South Korea. Solar did not show up for any of the qualifiers, so he's also ineligible to be voted on by the fans. So Maru's not going to be part of this. Solar is not going to be part of this either. Those are the two big names that come to my mind that did not compete in any of the qualifiers, at least from the Korean side of things. Of course, from the European side of things, we have Cyril who's missing and Clem who's missing as well. So there are some top players that are missing from said qualifiers, but there are others, so they just won't be a part of this event. You know, maybe they just weren't available on the day, maybe they missed the qualifier, maybe they don't use exclamation mark sign up list in the chat, they don't use the command, they don't see the qualifier, they don't know, they just don't know what's going on. It happens, man. It happens. But notable players that are eligible for voting that I believe will make it through. SOS, he's a big fan favorite. He did not qualify, but he's available for fan voting. I can see SOS gathering a lot of votes. Another player that comes to mind is Gumiho. Gumiho is another one who has a big fan base, who I think these two players that I just mentioned were also voted on previously as well. So we have SOS, we have Gumiho. Another one is Showtime. Showtime failed to qualify as well. He got knocked out by Cristiano. I would imagine he also has a big fan base that would be willing to vote on him. You know, he's a big fan favorite. Creator is the other, and those are the four that come to my mind. Creator, SOS, Gumiho, Showtime. There are others, of course, that are, again, worthy of making it through as well, but those are the four that come to my mind, at least on the forefront. I would imagine that a mixture of those would be making it through. There are other, like, more niche players, like your Jumis, like GG Machine, for example, like Shameless, that I would love to see make it through and be voted in, but I also recognize that the people that are aware of them, the people that are excited about them, the people that want to watch them, they're a little bit fewer and farther between compared to the more mainstream names like an SOS or like a Showtime or like a Gumiho, right? So I would imagine that those guys are going to be voted for. But, you know, best of luck. Best of luck to all the players. Best of luck for all the voting as well that'll be taking place to finalize these top players for the RSL Season 4. I didn't mention this previously, but I'm not fond of the naming. I'm sure Kura's alongside me on this one, but it's kind of weird that we had Season 1, 2, and 3 last year, and we're going to continue naming them and numbering them into 4, 5, and 6 this year instead of starting like 2026 Season 1. Which makes more sense. So I kind of understand. I kind of understand the logic. It's similar to like Home Story Cup. Home Story Cup, they keep numbering it, but it's different. Like Home Story Cup is, I don't know. It's like a big premier event. It isn't multi-stage, but also it's like a little bit more infrequent. Sometimes you have one a year, sometimes twice a year. Like it would make less sense to make it like a seasonal thing. For RSL, it's like a structured seasonal event. Like there's going to be 3 this year. We know that. Like we know that. Just like GSL. So in my mind, at least, it'll make more sense to like number it and restart each year. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird.
I mean, there are just two ways to approach it. They just picked this one. I think it's fine-ish. The part that really like triggers me is the name of the tournament itself, because it's RSL Revival.
Yeah. But
RSL already stands for Revival StarCraft League. So it's Revival. That's
like
the part that bothers me.
It's like if it was called like GSL Global.
It's ATM machine all over again, you know?
Yeah. I agree. That's also I never call it RSL Revival, but I have to whenever we cast it because that's the name of the event. So I have to introduce it as that. But it always feels wrong. It feels like what are you doing with your life? It's like it's like WCS World or something. Like it just doesn't make any sense. Yeah. But you know, they're locked in. You know, it's too late now. They're 4 seasons in, I suppose. So
yeah, I honestly thought that the revival part was like just the beginning, because it was like, oh, you know, the event where like they started. So that's they called like the first season or the first like run the first year the revival. But it looks like they're sticking with it. So cool. There you go.
Yeah, you just reminded me of something that would have been really cool is if they changed the subtitle every year.
Yeah.
Do you remember GSL used to do that? Like they used to have like GSL like Daybreak or something.
Yes,
like they used to
GSL used to have subtitles. Like they weren't like part of like official name, but like they were part of the branding, part of the advertising. Yeah. That's I thought that's what they're going for, but apparently not.
Nah. Didn't put that much thought into it, unfortunately. It reminds me of Home Story Cup. They also started doing subtitles not too long ago. Not from the beginning, but in more recent years, right? Like they had the cosmic collaboration, or like they had the Galactic Rumble and like the Revelation retake that they had now. Like
I feel like the Home Story Cup subtitles started ever since they started themed like events. I don't remember if it started from the anniversary
from the island.
From the island, yeah.
Yeah, it started from the island. It was like the tropical like getaway thing, and then from there they kept going with the subtitles. Unfortunately, the issue that I have with Home Story Cup is that they're very inconsistent when it comes to how much they want to lean into the theme. Sometimes they don't lean into it at all. Like it's it's very disappointing when they like pick a theme but they don't really do anything with it. It's like, what was the point? Like, what are you doing? Like have fun with it, Papi. Have fun with it. Aye. So yeah, regardless, so RSL is around the corner. It's going to be starting in 2 weeks, 2 weeks time, and of course before that the fan votes will be taking place. So if you're a patron of the RSL, don't forget to vote. Your every vote does count, every vote does matter. So make sure you get your votes in for who you want to be a part of the main event. Personally, I don't think I'm really too fussed. I think for balance purposes, as in like distribution purposes, it would be nice if we do get a Terran player in. I'm just trying to think who we're missing outside of Maru. I guess Maru, yeah, Gumiho as well. We didn't really have much participation from the European Terran side of things, so the pool is a little bit more limited here. But yeah, hopefully we can get some variety. Hopefully they can be vetted in. Ryung is the other one, but if you remember, Ryung didn't play in any qualifiers because he's casting. He was covering and casting the event instead. Just for those that are looking for Ryung. But otherwise, that leads us into Big Sty. Big Sty Festival 7.1. Here we go. This is, speaking of naming, I think we already spoke about this. How it didn't make any sense to me that they did 0.0s because there was never a 0.5. So it's kind of weird, but it's fine. It's fine. Big Sty Festival 7.0. We went over the qualifiers previously, at least some of them. Now we have our confirmed players making it through. We had Nightmare and Showtime making it through the second qualifier to confirm the final set of players. Quickly double checking here, who did they make it out over? So Showtime, he took down Cristiano took down Gumiho. Hey, speaking of Gumiho, Cristiano took down Gumiho to the 1, and Cristiano fell to Showtime. So there's a bit of a back and forth. Showtime took down Cristiano in the Pigsty qualifiers. Cristiano took down Showtime in the RSL qualifiers. Meanwhile, on the other side of the brackets, we had Nightmare. Nightmare, he 2-0'd Creator and he 3-2'd Rogue. That's a big win. I was favoring Rogue over Nightmare, so for Nightmare to beat Rogue, that is a very impressive result. Shout out to both Showtime and Nightmare for making it through that second qualifier. So now we have our confirmed players. For Protoss, we have Classic, Hero, Zaun, Nightmare, and Showtime. Bearing in mind that MaxPax did qualify, but MaxPax was ineligible because because one of the requirements for Pig Sty Festival are webcams, and MaxPax, he does not use a webcam, so MaxPax could not compete. Honestly, that's why I thought that he wouldn't be playing in RSL. If you remember, MaxPax was ineligible to compete in the season of RSL because of that, but I guess they changed that. I guess they won't be using webcams for their broadcasts. Yeah, MaxPax will be part of RSL despite that. So it looks like they're maybe a little bit more lenient on that sort of thing. But regardless, so we have our 5 Protosses. For Terran, we have Bunny, Byan, Clem, Cure, Maru, and Percival. And for Zerg, we have Raynor, Serral, Shin, Solar, and Young Yako. We have the best of the best. The best of the best players are here. The Protoss, Terran, and Zerg players all have come together. Don't think you can really... I mean, again, everyone is here. The only one missing would be MaxPax, but again, he's ineligible to compete. That leads us into the group stage. We have Group A, which is currently underway. We have Maru, Classic, Shin, and Bunny. 2 Terran, 1 Protoss, 1 Zerg. Coming into this, Maru and Classic are going to be my 2 picks to make it through. I can see Shin and Bunny causing upsets. It's going to be a very intense group. Best of luck to everyone involved. Best of luck, but leaning more towards Maru and Classic. Leaning towards them. Over to Group B, we have Clem, Solar, Zaun, and Percival. Likewise, Clem and Solar are going to be my 2 picks to make it through said group stage, but again, Zaun and Percival can also cause upsets as well. Like these are going to be some pretty clutch groups, I feel. Like, on one hand, I feel like there are some clear favorites. On the other hand, there is definitely upset potential. Like, again, these are the best players in the world that can be facing up. Heading over to Group C. Group C, you have Hero, Raynor, Cure, and Nightmare. Ooh, I feel like this is maybe one of the closer groups. Of course, in my mind, Hero and Raynor are the top 2 favorite players, but I can 100% see Cure beating either of those two. Like, Cure, he is a big threat in that group as well. So best of luck to everyone involved. Heading over to Group D, we have Serral, Bjorn, Showtime, and Young Yakov. Ooh, this is a close one to call as well. Like, Serral's the clear favorite. I think I want to say Serral and Bjorn. At the same time, I know that Showtime can pop off as well, and he's had some really strong showings as of late. Of course, infamously at Home Story Cup, right? It's like Showtime has been performing really, really well, and Bjorn has been struggling a little bit more as of late. So I'm on the fence between Bjorn and Showtime. I feel like the line is a little bit more blurred between the two of them. But yeah, best of luck. Best of luck to Young Yakov, to Nightmare, Percival, Bunny, to all those others involved. Again, the groups are going to be taking place throughout the course of the next couple of days. And by the time we get the next podcast going, we should be able to discuss the group stage. Not the playoffs. That'll be taking place during the podcast even. But regardless, we'll be able to discuss the group stage a little bit later on down the line. So best of luck to everyone involved. Best of luck. Shout out to PiG, of course, for hosting and for organizing the event as well. That leads us into the WardiTV Winter Championship 2026 Last Chance Qualifier. The final qualifier here for the main event. Who do we have making it through? We had Zaun. Zaun took down Nightmare 2-0. We had Cristiano taking down Spirit 2-0. Big win. Again, Cristiano has been getting some big results. A lot of really, really strong results here. So shout out to Cristiano for beating Piotr 2-0. As Piotr is historically the best player in all of Poland. So big win there for Cristiano. Nightmare takes down Lelix 2-0. And Spirit, lower bracket. Spirit still qualifies over Rex instead 2-0. So congratulations, shout out to Zaun, Cristiano, Nightmare, and Spirit for making it through. That leads us into the main event itself, the WardiTV Championship, which is going to be clashing with PiG. It looks like it's going to be starting up in an hour. Only there was a way for these tournament organizers to schedule their groups and figure their stuff out. If only there was a way. But we have our groups taking place. So Group A, we had Clem, Rogue, Nickrack, Nightmare, and Mana. Top 3 make it through the groups. Top 2 make it into the upper brackets. So the bottom player makes it into the lower brackets. We have Clem, Rogue, and Nickrack making it through, advancing on. Again, those were more the favored players here. I mean, I say that, like, I can see Nightmare and Mana threatening Nickrack, but Nickrack, he held his own. Did hold his own, did barely make it through. Heading on over to Group B, we have Cristiano, Creator, Young Yakov, Showtime, and Spirit. Now, there's a lot of hype around Cristiano, a lot of hype around Showtime. I gotta place my bets on the Protoss here, on Showtime, on Cristiano, and maybe Creator as well. Like, I'm torn. Like, I know the Spirit has also been in form as of late as well. I don't want, like, the most recent results from between Spirit and Cristiano to kind of like to color my opinion too much here. So it's a hard one. Like, I feel like Showtime and Cristiano are almost a sure thing. Creator's been looking very shaky as of late. Spirit is I feel like that third spot is going to be up in the air. For now, though, I'll go Cristiano, Creator, Showtime, but I can see Cristiano, Creator. Sorry, I can see Cristiano, Showtime, and maybe Spirit as well. It's hard to call. Heading on to Group C. Group C, we have Solar, Geralt, Hero, Shameless, and Percival. Coming into this, this is an interesting one. I want to say Solar and Hero, obviously, for top 2. I want to say third place, maybe Shameless. Shameless and Percival are really close in skill, I feel. Unfortunately, I feel like Geralt, he's kind of fallen below some of these other younger up-and-comers have been on that grind, like a Shameless, like Young Yakov, like Percival as well, just in recent months. Yeah, it's gonna be a real battle there for sure. Like Geralt, Shameless, Percival, like I can see any of them kind of like shifting up and down between the three of them. Yeah, it's gonna be a close one. Group D, we have Shin, Trigger, Bunny, Harstem, and Zaun. Oh, similar here, where I would say that Shin and Trigger are the top 2 favorite players. I think I would say Shin, Trigger, and Bunny. Right now, I'm a little bit less impressed by Zaun, just because Zaun, I know he struggled a little bit more at Home Story Cup, but Zaun has just been less active. It's hard for me to like judge the current skill of Zaun because he's been so inactive compared to everyone else. Like, there's so much little information about Zaun over the past like 3 months compared to these other players. So it's a harder one to call here for Zaun. So I'm leaning towards Shin, Trigger, and Bunny, but I can see Zaun making it through. But best of luck. Once again, by the time we get into the next podcast, we should have the group stage wrapped up, and we'll be able to talk about the playoffs thereafter. So again, the groups are going to be taking place over the next week here for the WardiTV Championship. Meanwhile, that leads us into our modded tournaments. That leads us into the Patch Clash Showdown number 4. This is, of course, the Invitational that is being run on Patch's on his own take on the balance of the game. It's crazy mod, all these different changes, all these different upgrades as well. Not the most maybe balance of mods, but very entertaining nonetheless. Coming into this, we had Haruko. Haruko took down Void 3-1 to claim that show match, that best of 5. Then had Hackers top 3-1 over Faye in a Random versus Zerg matchup. Oh, let's go. Then had Fireclaw taking down Throgos 3-0, big win there for Fireclaw. And then we had the big show match, the big title event was PiG versus Inexorable, which PiG did win barely over Inexorable 3-2. GG, well played. Congratulations to El Chanchito, to PiG. Bearing in mind that this event isn't just on the new mod, it is also on a custom map pool as well, with a bunch of, I believe, a bunch of patches maps that he did create himself. So it does have a custom map pool alongside custom mod as well. That leads us into the Amateur League Weekly, our amateur tournaments. This is a weekly tournament that is MR restricted, of course. Up first, we had the Initiate Weekly for bronze to platinum players. Not many signups.
I would say I am currently having technical difficulties, so hold on, I may not be able to show the bracket.
Oh, good. Well, I mean, for the first one, there is no brackets. So Jackals does get the walkover win in the Bronze to Platinum edition. So that is a little bit unfortunate here that there weren't any other participants in this weekly. So it's a bit of a shame. It's weekly number 150, I should say. Heading on over here to the Veteran edition. This is Diamond 3 to Diamond 2. Here we did have some regulars that we're familiar with, some others that I'm less familiar with. I do see Yoreha. I see Barks as well. I'm not familiar with Revo, but Revo does take down Old Lady 2-1, takes down Barks 2-1, takes down Yoreha 1-0, and that's a walkover win over Yoreha. And likewise, we do see them falling in a rematch against Barks in the grand finals, 3-2, barely in favor of Barks. GG, well played. GG, well played. A shout out to Barks for making it through. Congratulations for winning this week's Veteran Weekly. That leads us into the Prestige Amateur Weekly number 150 for Diamond 1 to Masters 2. Here we have a lot of regulars. We have Beast, we have Milka, we have Blade of Fire, Steez, Gillyman. Oh, Gillyman's here. Interesting. Korean Terran player. Bareal and Set. Coming into this, we have Beast. BC takes down Nelson 2-0, takes down Milka 2-1, takes down Set 1-0 of Walkover. Walkover win over Set. And then Steez wins in the rematch in that Revival series at the very end, the grand finals, 3-2, barely in favor of Steez. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to Steez for claiming the win over Beast for being this week's Prestige champion. That leads us into the Elite Edition. This is for the GM players. Here, once again, no bracket. Havertz does get the walkover win over a no-show. GG, well played, Havertz. GG. Whew. As that takes us into the Little Mac League. Oh, we have some progression. Let's go. Bearing in mind, he runs 2 leagues. One is the StarCraft II League, and the other is the Master League. Guess which one is for more amateur players and which one isn't. As the StarCraft II League is for 4.5k MR players and below, so this is for more amateur players. Looks like Group Stage 1 has concluded. Okay, coming in Group A, we have Medic Jr. and Steez making it through over Madman and Alexei Stukov, so congratulations to Medic Jr. and Steez. Group B, we have Neo and Violin over Nox and Sugarcoat II. Group C, we have Beast and Digidwarf over Legoland Man and Ibidi. Oh, that would have been a group of death for sure, 100%. Group D, we have Kaiboy and Havertz. Havertz, same one that we did mention earlier who got the walkover win over Blade of Fire and Hunted Swarm. Then we had Fireclaw and Defiance over Winter and Wiseman. We had Mac and Chocolates over Haruko and Milka. Oh, that would have been a spicy group. We had Boreal and Frogos over Roselia and Xenodactyl. And then we had Set and Zigger over Angarath and Wallace. For the most part, I would say that these are the favorite players. I mean, I still had some high hopes for Winter, for example, in Group E, or for Legoland Man and Ibri in Group C, or for Milka in Group F as well. Roselia, true. I had some high hopes for Roselia. So there was definitely some groups here that I'm sure would have been, although I'm sure were very, very close. But in the end, we have our confirmed players, and now we have Group Stage 2 ready for us. Group A, we have Fireclaw, Set, Digidwarf, and Zigger. Oh my god. What a group. Group B, we have Kaiboy, Mag, Frogos, and Defiance. Group C, we have Beast, Steez, Neo, Boreal. Group D, we have Meg Jr., Violin, Havertz, and Chocolates. Oh boy. Coming into this, top 2 players do make it through. Group A, my eyes are going to be on Set and Dizzy Dwarf. Zico's a good player, but he's just a little bit below them. He's around like M3. He's like around M3 level. Set and Dizzy Dwarf, they're around M2 level. So I do have higher hopes for them. I know the Fireclaw is a strong player in his own right, but we have seen a little bit more of Set and Dizzy Dwarf as of late. So I'm leaning more towards the 2 of them. Heading over to Group B, we have Kaiboy, Mac, Frogos, Defiance. This is a group that I'm less familiar with. Like, we've casted Frogos and Defiance before. Mac is a player that I'm very unfamiliar with. Based on his dominance in the group stage, I assume that Mac is a favorite player here for sure. So I'm assuming Mac and maybe Kaiboy as well as the top 2. In Group C, we have Beast, Steez, Neo, and Boreal. Steez, who just beat Beast in the weekly tournament, by the way. So I gotta lean towards Steez here for the favorite player. I appreciate that we have a Latin American group. Here we have Neo from Costa Rica and Boreal from Guatemala. So again, it's very Latin American coded, but I do lean towards Beast and Steez for making it through Group C. Best of luck to Neo and Boreal, though. Best of luck. I want them to make it through. Group D with May Junior, Violin, Havertz, and Chocolates. We are very biased. Chocolates. He's a fellow Duckling adjacent player. He also plays Final Fantasy. He's a weeb. Big weeb. God damn it. So I want Manny Junior to do well, and Chocolate. So I want Chocolate to do well, and I do think that Manny Junior will join him, making it through Group D. But best of luck. Best of luck to all the players. Best of luck to everyone involved in Group Stage 2. That leads us into the Little Mac Master League Season 11, which is for higher tier players, actually. 5.4k and below for MMR. Coming into this, Group Stage 1 has concluded. For Group A, we had Inexorable and Azura making it through. We have some double dipping here. I just realized. Fireclaw is playing in both. Havertz is playing in both. Neo is playing in both. Dizzy Dwarf is playing. Yeah, there's a bunch of players that are playing in both. Okay. So I guess there's no restriction. There is no restriction. So for Group A, we had Inexorable and Zura. Those are 2 favorite players to make it far in the event, I would say. That's hefty players. At Group B, we have Kneehead and Dizzy Dwarf making it out of Group B over F2 Click and Havertz. I would have favored F2 Click over Dizzy Dwarf, to be honest, but big win there. Big win there for Dizzy Dwarf. Group C, we had Angry and Gref making it through over Panda and Neo. They make it through. Group D, we have Kamikaze and Ryojin making it out over Cos Phoenix and Captain Britain. Group E, we have Phalanger and Doomrat making it over Exiled and Fairspitter. For Group F, we have Maro and Anticore making it out over Amy and Sig. Group G, we have Nisho and Gypsy Danger making it out over Defi and Musten. And then we have Group H, which is Akeron and Magnath over Toster and Cobblestone. Okay, so we have our top players making it through into Group Stage 2. Coming into Group Stage 2, we have Group A. Oh, Jesus, that is a Terran group. That's not just a Terran group, that's a Polish group as well. What the hell's going on? Maro, Angry, Dizzy Dwarf, 3 Polish Terran players. And Kamikaze as well. Those are going to be some long games. So, Kurt, do you want to cast? Do you want to cast Group A? Do you want to? Oh God.
No. Sure. Yeah. Let's go.
So, my favorite players there are going to be probably Kamikaze and Angry, but I only say that because I have no idea who Maro is. Kurt, do you know who Maro is?
I don't think we've encountered him before. Like, I've seen the name, but I don't think we like covered.
Have you? I have never seen the name Maro. Like, we covered PondCast before. Okay. Yeah. Apparently, he played in Vulcan Cups, which I don't think we covered. That was a couple of years ago. He played in Aristory show matches. Oh, there you go. And in the Infolet Random Cup, apparently. They played in that as well. So he's dipped in a little bit. He's Marek Madesh. Okay. He's a zoomer. So yeah, I'm very unfamiliar with Maro, so I'm gonna lean towards Kamikaze and Angry. But that's only because of because I just don't know the kind of player that Maro is. I don't know what the caliber of play, the caliber of skill. So he's a big question mark in my mind. Best of luck though. Best of luck to Maro. Group B has Akeron, Nisho, Phalanger, and Magnath. I'm gonna be leaning toward. It's a hard one to call, actually. I think I lean towards Akeron. I don't know why he's Zerg here. Is he off racing? He's a Protoss main, by the way. Maybe it's possible this tournament allows off racing. Because yeah, his Protoss is 100% above 5.4k MMR. Yeah. So it looks like maybe they allow off racing. So I was gonna say I favor Akeron, but if he's off racing, I don't know how good his off race is. True. So It's a harder one to call because of that. So I'm going to lean towards that Geddon and maybe Nisho, but I don't know how good his off race is. So we'll see. Group C. Wait, what? Who seeded this? Why is why are Inexorable and Azura again in the same group? They were in the same group in group stage 1. Girl, what's going on? Who seeded this? This doesn't make any sense.
It wasn't me. Why do you call me?
It's look at the seed. If there's a seeding issue, I assume Kuro is behind it. 100%. 100%. Oh god. But yes, Inexorable and Azura for some reason in the same group with Gref and Doomrats. I'm gonna still favor Inexorable and Azura to make it through. Gref does nothing but cannon rush. Doomrat can also be a very aggressive player as well. Group D, we have Ryojin, Gypsy Danger, Anticore, and Nihed. Ooh, this in my mind is the group of death. This looks like some very, very close level skill players. In my mind, Ryojin, Anticore, Nihed, very close in skill. Gypsy Danger, I'm less familiar with. I'm gonna lean towards Anticore and Nihed. I think I'm gonna lean towards the two of them. But it's a hard one to call. It's a hard one. Best of luck to Ryojin. Best of luck. But they're all going to be facing off, and by the time next time we do cover this, we'll be able to see the results and delve into the playoffs. Best of luck. Best of luck to all the players. Best of luck. That leads us into the Chat Star League. Chat Star League number 44. This is becoming a more regular monthly tournament. Once again, this is also MR restricted as well for 5.3k and below. Okay, so 5.3k and below. Coming into this, who do we have? We have Cos Phoenix, Matic, Hackers Top, Gypsy Danger, Diesdorf as well, Universe. Looking at all these tournaments, by the way, by this point, you should be recognizing some of these names, like Gypsy Danger, who was just in the Little Mac League. Likewise, Cos Phoenix was also in the Little Mac League as well. Hackers Top does play in a lot of online tournaments. Diesdorf also was not just in Little Mac League, but also in some of the other Amateur Weekly Japan, or sorry, the Amateur Weekly tournaments as well. So again, we have a lot of regulars here. Who does take the win though? Fienend. I have been seeing some good things from Fienend as of late. So he does take down Diesdorf 3-2-0, Universe 3-0, and Hackers Top 3-1. GG, well played. Shout out to Fienend. I'm hoping that gets good results like this on a more regular basis and eventually gets a Wikipedia page. Hopefully. But GG, well played. Does claim the win. Hackers Top comes in second and Matic comes in third. That leads us into the Thermal 2-2 Circuit Bonus Cup number 3, the all-random edition. Again, Bonus Cup, a bit of a more chaotic format here, bear that in mind. Single elimination, not double elimination, and likewise we had non-stop random. So it's harder to judge who was going to be favored coming into this. We had Jumi and Hero Marine teaming up, we had Gigi Machine and Shameless teaming up, so a lot of regular teams. We had Def Mars and Zardiant, I think for the first time, Bunny and SOS. Bunny and SOS joining forces here, coming in together. Okay.
Was this the tournament where it was Bunny and SOS versus SOS and Bunny?
Yes. We then had Milky Cow and Wayne. We did have Midovik and UAD Soldier. Again, that's a new pairing. Usually it's Midovik and Bratok, so maybe Bratok was unavailable. Interesting. So UAD Soldier does fill in for Bratok. We had Thermal and Goblin. We had Alexei Stukov and Poppy. We had Roxas and Coral, Mini Zerg, and Sickness, who did perform very well previously. Shin and Hero. That's a new duo here. If you remember last time, it was Hero and Maru. It was Hero and Maru playing together. Now Shin and Hero. Looks like they're still trying to work out the kinks on who is the best 2v2 duo to work with. Young Yako and Percival, they played together once again, not for the first time. Spazimazia and Akedon, and of course we had Geralt and Cristiano. Ooh, not the first time they've joined forces, but an interesting duo as well. Interesting duo. But coming into this again, pure random, non-stop random all over the place. Who did make it far here? We had Jumi and Hero Marine taking down Gigi Machine and Shameless. They took down Max Pax and Lambo. They took down Def Mars and Zardian. Jesus, I didn't drop a single map. What the hell happened? They made it all the way to the finals. A crazy pairing to make it that far, and it's hard to really analyze these results without seeing the games and without seeing who landed on what. There's just so much randomness that takes part in all of this. It's hard to say what the hell happened. But shout out to Jumi and Hero Marine for making it far. Meanwhile, we had Shin and Hero. They took down Young Yakov and Percival. They took down Geralt and Cristiano, Thermal and Goblin, and they took down Jumi and Hero Marine at the end of the event, becoming the Bonus Cup number 3 champions. Congratulations to Shin and Hero. Do they work well together, or do they thrive in the chaos that is non-stop random? I think that's the better answer. I think now that I think about it, I think that Shin is a really good pick just because Shin, he's a bit of a content creator, so I'm sure he does play a lot with the other races, so I think he would be a really good partner to have. Likewise, Hero, if you remember, he does off-races Terran quite a bit, so Hero's Protoss and Terran are solid. His Zerg is a little bit more iffy, but hey, he also is known for off-racing, so he also has that kind of strength if he ever does land on Terran. I think Hero's Terran is like around 6k. So, really cool. Really cool. Congratulations to Shin and Hero. Congratulations. That leads us into Nation League. Nation League is Season 7. I believe week or round 2 has concluded. Yeah, week 2 of the group stage. Coming to week 2, let's head on over to Group A. We had Hungary. Hungary took down Taiwan, Japan 4-3. We did see Ian initially for Taiwan, Japan take down Ibra. We then had Milka and Nisezo tied 1-1. Then had ORDG take down Undertaker 2-0, and then we had Milka take down Niso 1-0 as well. So Hungary, they barely take down Taiwan, Japan. Meanwhile, we had Bolivia versus Peru. Okay, we had, I believe that's Crossstrokes. Yeah, Crossstrokes takes down Letos. Sorry, they actually tied 1-1. Gal had 2-0's Grands. Tryhard 2-0's Facebooka. Oh, and then Crossstroke, he did claim the win over Letos just barely at the end of the series. So congratulations to Bolivia for coming out on top. That leads us into Group B. Group B, we did have Germany. Germany, they take down Guatemala 5-1. We had Wale take down Maximu 2-0. We had Boreal and Lutrax 1-1, tied 1-1. Then Regal takes down Imba Secret 2-0. GG, well played. Germany does claim the win. We then had Kazakhstan versus Ukraine. Okay, we had Chris Across and Ilya tied 1-1. We had Lucifer take down Set 2-0. Big win there for Lucifer. We had Nurim and Endro tied 1-1 as well. So that was a win for Kazakhstan thanks to that 2-0 win that Lucifer had over Set. GG. That leads us into Group C. Group C, week 2, we had some walkovers. Oh, it looks like Ecuador forfeited, actually. Yeah, Team Ecuador, they forfeited completely out of the group. They didn't play a single series. It's a bit of a shame. That is a shame here. So Team Ecuador, they are out. Sweden takes down Poland 5-1. Big win there for Sweden. System takes down his opponent 2-0. Next takes Dex and Killer Bee. They tied 1-1.
The System's opponent is Schlafrock. And what it means is a gown, like a sleeping gown or dressing gown. There you go. Then we had Cosmic takes down Matrix 2-0. Oh, GG, well played. Sweden, they do claim the win. That leads us into Group D. Group D, we had Brazil popping off. We had initially a tie, actually. Wait, what? We had Costa Rica versus Czechia. They tied 2-2. That doesn't make any sense. Looks like we had Neoshine and Rathak 1-1, Eon and Majti 1-1. Looks like they didn't play their first round match or their ace match. They might reschedule. That might be the plan. They might reschedule one of the games. Otherwise, yeah, tie doesn't really make too much sense there. But we'll see. We'll see what happens because we're just missing games there. We're missing games. Meanwhile, we had Brazil versus US of A. Brazil takes down USA 5-1. We had a walkover win in the first round. We had Ares and Void tie 1-1. And then we had Esparta take down Meg Jr. 2-0. Sorry, Espartano. Take down Meg Jr. 2-0. So GG, well played. Brazil, they do claim the win in Group D. Again, there's only a couple of weeks left. There's going to be 1 week left of groups. And then we have the playoffs thereafter. So yeah, we're working our way through the groups. We're getting there. We are getting there. So best of luck to all the teams. Shout out to the organizers of the Nation League Season 7 event. That leads us into the regional events and show matches. Let us head on over to the land of China. First, we have the Rookie Warpgate Invitational 2026 Winter Group Stage. Coming through this year, the group stage did conclude. This is an event for basically Rookie Warpgates. They're an amateur team. They support their players, of course. And here we have a bunch of Diamond players, Masters players that I'm very unfamiliar with. The only player that I know is Stray, because Stray has competed in other events. So Stray, in my mind, is the clear favorite, only because he's the only one I know.
he's the only one I know. So I'm pinning Stray. He does make it out of his group without dropping a single map. So big win. Oh, sorry, he did drop one map, I should say. But Stray, in my mind, is going to be the heavy favorite. Best of luck to everyone else in the event. But again, it's a nice event here. You know, we have a couple $100 as the prize pool, and again, it's an in-team event, an in-team tournament. We bring this up all the time, but the Chinese scene, the Chinese region, they do run a lot of events for amateur players, and their support shows for sure. Their support does show. That leads us into the Chicken King Cup number 9. This is another regular event here that does take place. Here we did have a hefty lineup here. We had Silky, we had Oriana, we had SCV. Who else comes to mind here? I believe we have Nanyu. I think Nanyu, Millennium Fox, Nami Chiaki was here as well. True. Yeah, there's Nanyu, there's Millennium. In the end, we had SCV make it through. SCV 3-0s. Wait, these are all best of 5s. Oh my god. Quarterfinals onwards. Best of 5. This is a multi-day event. Okay. This lasted 10 days. 10 days of StarCraft. So SCV takes down Nami 3-0. Big win there for SCV. SCV takes down... I'm not too certain who that opponent is, actually. Hold on. Let's have a look here. Janpan Xiaoren, Keyboard Superman. I love Keyboard Warrior. Let's go. Takes on Keyboard Warrior 3-0, and then we did have the grand final. Silky on his side of things took down Oriana 3-1. Then to go up against SCV in the finals, I would have favored Silky 100%. Again, Silky did not actually earn the crown of the best Zerg player in China. True. Didn't earn that crown in the end. But still is a heavy favorite here. So for SCV to win here is a big win for SCV. GG will play. Congratulations to SCV for making it through. Meanwhile, I believe Keyboard Warrior is actually who beats Millennium Fox. Double checking. Yeah. That's crazy. Who is this guy? Keyboard Warrior. He beat Millennium Fox in the second round, and he also beat who in the quarterfinals? Let's see. Oh, he beat Keyboard Poison. God damn it. So curious. So the person who went down to SCV in the semifinals, that is Keyboard Superman or Keyboard Warrior. In the quarterfinals, he beat Keyboard Poison Milk. Lovely. The keyboards, they played against each other.
The keyboards are fighting. We have to intervene.
Oh no. That's crazy. But yeah, keyboard Poison Milk. I think that's like a direct translation, but in my mind, that's like toxic keyboard, right? Like I think that's kind of what that's meant to imply. So yeah, crazy. That might even imply something else, actually, like online troll or something. Like it might even have like that kind of like translation. But yeah, it's crazy. But congratulations to SCV. That leads us into our next event. That leads us into Legacy Weekly Japan number 491, your weekly open dose of Japanese StarCraft. Coming into this, where is my tapioca? Where is the Boba? I don't see him. So there's no tapioca here. There's no Sayark either. There's no tapioca. Crimson is here. We're missing a bunch of players, actually.
Okay, Light.
Where's Vaisavanya?
Light. I need you to go full radio broadcast, because for some reason I cannot access challenge today. It's just gone. Yeah. It's inaccessible. So you're the only one who has the bracket.
Well, I'm telling you who's not there. So that's all done. I'm telling you, there's no Sayak this week. There's no Crimson this week. There's no Vaisavanya this week. There's no Tapioca this week. We're missing a bunch of regulars here. As a result, we had Kazumon. Kazumon did take down Hirakui, took down Kaiman, and took down Akira in the finals 2-1. So congratulations to Kazumon. Again, a lot of the big regulars are not here. They were missing. So a little bit unfortunate that the regulars were nowhere to be found, but it does allow for another up-and-comer to rise up, to claim the win. And great to see an ace match finals as well against Akira. GG. GG well played. Kazuma does claim the win. That leads us into the Liger show match. Liger show match number 1, an event that I'm a little bit unfamiliar with, I'll be honest. Looks like the organizer was Pommy. Pommy. He is a Russian caster. I'm not familiar with Pommy organizing many events, but looks like he did have a show match with the top 3 up-and-coming players from the region. We have Young Yakov, Shameless, and Nicorette. Yeah, I would point at them as the top Protoss, Terran, and Zerg. Here we had Young Yakov. Yakov takes down Nicorette 4-3 and takes down Shameless 4-3. We had non-stop ace matches. Oh my god, you love to see it. Do love to see it. Non-stop ace matches between our players here. Went all the way to game 7, and Yakov barely comes out on top. But you can see that because of all these ace matches, how close in skill these players are. How close they are in skill and how back and forth they are as well. So congratulations to Young Yakov. That leads us into the Basilisk Big Brain Bouts, number 106. Again, this is your weekly show match series. We have the Basilisk one, the fun one, and the good one. The fun one was Inexorable versus Nihed, 3-0 in favor of Inexorable. Does claim the win, a strong showing there by the Brazilian Terran player. We have the good one, Beyond versus G Machine. That looks a little bit one-sided, as in the pairings. Beyond takes down G Machine 3-0 to claim the win over the Machine. And then we had the Basilisk one, Serral 3-0 over Jumi. I was going to say this is weird, but it makes sense. I was going to say that in my mind, I feel like Beyond and Jumi should have been flipped, right? Jumi versus G Machine and Beyond versus Serral, I feel like those would have led into potentially closer series, and because of that, more entertaining series. But if you remember, Kuro, there was a qualifier, right? There was like a qualifier to find out who plays against Serral, and Jumi did win the qualifier, so he earned that right? He earned that right to play versus Serral in this show match. So because of that, that does kind of like mess some things up a little bit in a sense. So true. There was a qualifier to see who would play against Serral, and Jumi did win that, and that meant that we had Beyond versus G Machine instead when it comes to the other show match.
I mean, as you said, Jumi earned the right, okay? You know, the other people could have competed for it, but Jumi took it.
True, yeah. Took it. Damn. GG. GG. Meanwhile, that leads us into our OSC events. The OSC events of the week. We have the OSC Elite Rising Star number 17.5. Here we go. Day 3 wrapped up this week, and we just wrapped up with the quarterfinals. Shameless took down Honmono 3-1 to advance on to the semifinals. Minizerg UA took down Mute 3-1 as well, also to make it to the semifinals. Then had Jumi took down Lelix 3-0 as well, and then we had a walkover. No. That's news to me. There was a walkover win, Young Yakov over Lemon. I was looking forward to it. In my mind, Lemon is one of the players that could have brought Young Yakov down, and it is a shame that we don't get to experience that. So, bit of a feels bad, man. Looks like there were some scheduling issues, but Lemon does forfeit. That means we have our top 4, Shameless versus Minizerg and Young Yakov versus Jumi. In my mind, it's going to be a Shameless versus Yakov finals. We assumed that from the beginning. And hey, you saw how close they are in skill with that show match that went all the way to game 7 in a best of 7. But I will say that Jumi is a player that can bring Young Yakov down. In my mind, Yakov versus Jumi is going to be a bit of a closer series. Shameless versus Minizerg. Minizerg is a young up-and-coming player. Minizerg, he's doing well for himself. He did so well making it to the semifinals, but he's a big underdog in those semis. Best of luck to Minizerg. Best of luck. As we have our top 4. So top 4, and I believe that should be wrapping up this week. I believe for the most part, like maybe a week or 2, and this event should be wrapping up. And I guess as it's wrapping up, that's leading us into the OSC Elite Rising Star number 18. It feels a little bit weird to set up this event before the previous one is even done. It's a little bit odd, but sure, why not? So OSC Elite Rising Star number 18. Players have been seeded. Players have been set. We have our matchups. It's double elimination, massive brackets. We have Art. We have the other Arts. We have Creature, Jumi, Ledlix, MinoVK. We have Mutes, Knife Phoenix, Bappy, Rebellion, Sebestus, Shameless, UD Soldier. We got 13 Protosses. Jesus, that's a lot of Protoss. That's more than the Terran and Zerg combined, actually. That's crazy. It's crazy. We have Terran. We have 5 Terran. We have Baby Marine, Defiance, Inexorable, Milky Cow, and Moja. And for Zerg, we have Eon, Erebus Black, Chi Machine, Hatsu, Iba, Mini Zerg, and Shino as well. Okay. So yeah, we do have our confirmed players. We do have some confirmed matchups as well early on. It's too early to really make too many assumptions as to how this series or how this tournament's going to progress. I say that. I think for me, SCHimus is the heavy favorite to win the entire thing for OSC Elites number 18 for the 18 event. I don't know if you noticed something, but there were some players that graduated previously. Nikrat graduated, Percival graduated, and Young Yakov. The 17.5 is the last event for Young Yakov to play in, I believe. I think post that, I think he's now ineligible. So because of that, that's why I believe that Young Yakov is not a part of the Zerg lineup in number 18. So in my mind, without Nikrat, without Percival, and without Young Yakov, those are the top players that typically threaten SCHimus in these tournaments. So without them, it's going to be hard to stop him. Again, there are some players that can, like Jumi. I would rate Jumi as the other top player that can threaten him. Baby Marine, I would say that he's the other big one as well. And Gigi Machine. Like Gigi Machine, Baby Marine, and Jumi. I do think that they are other top contenders. But SCHimus is he's like the final boss, you know. He's like the final boss of these events. So best of luck. Best of luck to everyone else in the tournament. Best of luck. As that leads us into our weeklies, into our weekly Open Cups as well. That leads us into our first one, Sparkling Tuning Cup, the SDC number 119. Again, we're back into our regular broadcasting schedule. We're back to it. Oh, meanwhile, big shout out to Luis DGG in the chat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Hope you had a great time. Hope you had a great time. Thank you. As we have again, Sparkling Tuning Cup number 119. Massive bracket here. A plethora of players available as well. We had Nikrat, we had Swordov, we have Nightmare, Shameless, Björn, Creator, Perceive, Geralt, Cristiano, Young Yakov, and many, many more. Even Young Yakov off-racing his Protoss, by the way. True. Did off-race his Protoss to take down Mini Zerg in the first round. But coming into this event, Björn was the number 1 seed. Björn takes down Nikrat 2-0, Beast 2-0, Nightmare 2-0 as well. Nightmare did have a big win over Shameless. True. Did take down Shameless 2-0, so big win there for Nightmare. But Björn does advance on to the grand finals. Meanwhile, Cristiano fought hard to get to the finals. I would argue a harder route even, or a comparable route. But Cristiano took down Hacker's Top, took down Young Yakov, and took down Creator in the semifinals. So some big wins there for Cristiano. But in the end, he does fall to Björn. 3-0. So GG well played there for Björn. Does claim the win. Another Cristiano was very frustrated after that performance. But remember, Cristiano has had some big results outside of this. Remember, he went to the ace match against Kieran in a best of 5. Right, that did happen as well last week. So Cristiano, he has been excelling in this matchup, but also at other times has been struggling. It's been a little bit more in flux here for Cristiano, and again, he's still improving, still looking to find himself, and still reaching greater heights, I should say, as he is going to be competing in an RSL. Best of luck. But congratulations to Björn. Congratulations. That leads us into the Lad Legends Academy Open Showdown number 2. I believe this event is also... Is this limited? Just double checking here. Seating based off of Villigalac. I don't see any restrictions on this event. I say that just because it's an Academy Open. So
yeah, I believe the open I guess is open, and then they have the amateur showdown as well, which is restricted. And they just alternate between the two.
It's just called Academy, but it has nothing to do with Academy. It's just
Ladder Legends Academy, and then the rest of the tournament name.
Okay. So it's just an open tournament. It's just an open tournament. Coming into this, we do have Björn. Björn, he does make it through. Takes down Grooveman 2-0. Takes down Art 2-0. Oh, Art 2-0 Jumi. Oh my god. Okay. That's the art. But Björn takes down Art 2-0. Björn takes down Young Yakov 2-1. Went all the way to the ace match. And Björn over Cristiano once again. GG, well played. Björn takes down Cristiano. But Cristiano did take a map this time. Did take a map. But to get there, Cristiano took down Gigi Machine, took down Shameless as well to make it to those finals. And again, I would say did have a better performance, slightly better compared to the Tuna Cup performance. Again, still looking to improve himself. Björn's still the slight favorite there. Congratulations to Björn taking 2 wins here. 2 wins back to back. That leads us into the WardiTV Monday number 74. Speaking of Björn, there's the Björn. Yo, 3 tournaments is I now understand the frustrations from Cristiano. Cristiano, he lost to Bjorn again. Feels bad, man. Oh my god, every single week. They're becoming the new rivals, baby. The new rivals. Ay. They're becoming Rebellion and Homono. But when it comes to this event, I should actually preface this. Yes, Cristiano did fall to Bjorn, that is true. But look at who he beat. He beat Cure in the first round, in the round 16. Like that's a big win for Cristiano. He 2-1 Cure, he 2-0'd Ryung, and he fell to Bjorn. You can't be upset about that. You cannot be upset. Like I would argue that Cure has better TVP than Bjorn right now, to be honest. So crazy performance there by Cristiano to take down Cure and Ryung. Shout out to Ryung as well. Old man Ryung, Caster Ryung, he still got it. 2-1 Trigger. Trigger, who beat Clem recently, by the way. Like, yeah, the Tuna still got it, baby. He still got it. But Bjarni takes down Cristiano 2-0 to advance on the grand finals. Max, he took down Young Yakov 2-1. Shameless 2-0. Classic 2-0. Big win there for Max, by the way, to take down Classic. And then gets the win over Bjarni 3-1. GG, well played. Max does claim the win. Does take the WardiTV Monday number 74. That leads us into the Monday Night Weeklies number 40. Yeah. That's later on that evening. Oh my god, later on that evening. And once again, we have the same duo. And once again, we're missing players. Very quickly here. For the WardiTV Monday, we were missing Clem, who's a regular. We're missing Showtime. Missing Solar as well. Solar, who was also missing for the RSL qualifiers. True. For this event, there's no excuse that people are traveling, but maybe they are taking a break. Because if you look at Monday Night Weekly, the same players are missing. The Hero, true, Hero's the other one. Hero, he's a regular. There's no Hero, there's no Clem, there's no Showtime, there's no Solar. Not at least not here in the Monday Night Week. Sorry, in the WardiTV Monday, and they're also not here in the Monday Night Weekly either. So, yeah, it looks like there's just and Tapioca's missing too. Kure. that's the big one.
Yeah, that's
Tapioca
the big one.
was also
Tapioca,
missing.
really. Yeah.
What's going on?
Do you think they are all like organized together and they are together on like a vacation in one place?
You know what they're doing? You know what? No. You know what we need right now? We need a new tweet from Solar.
Yes.
We need a new tweet.
I was gonna say,
it's like life without Protoss, and you see him, but actually next to him lying down is also Clem. Like it's Clem is there.
Oh, it's
Hero is there as well. Yeah.
No, Clem is better because he's a hidden Protoss. He's undercover.
Yeah. Like life without Protoss, and then Clem's doing the troll face. But
no, it's life without Protoss, and in the background you can see Clem playing Protoss.
But yeah, it looks like they, unironically, especially post-Home Story Cup, they might be on vacation. They might just be taking a bit of a break here. It's hard to take a break right now.
To be fair, I was thinking specifically about someone like Hero who just like won every tournament possible and like, okay, well, now I'm going on vacation. I could totally see that.
I mean, it's hard to go on vacation because we still got RSL, we still got PiG, we got the WardiTV event as well, the Winter Championship. So there's still a lot of events, but because there are all those big online premier events that are happening right now, maybe that's why they're at least taking like the weeklies off. They're like, you know what? We got a lot of groups that we're playing in right now. We got a lot of tournaments we're playing in right now. We're traveling all over the place. Let's just calm down a little bit. Let's sleep for a day. So that's the kind of the vibe that I'm getting here, just because of the lack of participation from those regular players. But getting back into it, so for the Monday Night Weekly, Max takes down Young Yakov 2-0, takes down, does fall to Percy. Look at him go. Percival takes down Max 2-1, Papi. Oh my. This is why I keep saying that Percival's best matchup is TVP. I keep saying it. He's crazy. Percival, he took down Cristiano 2-1, took down Max 2-1, did fall to Beyond 2-1, again did go all the way to the ace match there, and that's upper bracket finals, and then Max he was able to win in the rematch. Max he was able to bring down Bratok, Cure, Percival in the best of ones, and then win in the rematch versus Beyond 3-2. So congratulations to Max. Shout out to Beyond for making it to the finals. Shout out to Percival for causing a big upset and knocking Max down to the best of ones as well. Crazy. Crazy one there. That leads us into the PiG Cup number 69. Nice. Once again, here we're missing our European regulars at least, but here we have Beyond. Again, Beyond is still on the grind. You have players like Hero, Clem, Sola. They all like, yo, Beyond, you want to climb a mountain? Do you want to like take a break? Do you want to touch some grass? And you're like, nah, I got some grinding to do, papi. Yeah. Björn playing in everything. Björn 2-0s Upsire, 3-0s Jan Yakov, and 3-0s Percival. Doesn't drop a single map. Congratulations to Björn for claiming the win here for PiG Cup 69. GG. GG, well played. Aye. So yeah, it's a bit of a break week for a lot of the top players, at least when it comes to the weekly tournaments. But again, it might just be because we have a bunch of big Premier Online events with RSL, PiG Sty, and WardiTV, and we just wrapped up Homestory Cup as well. And Lily Cup, sure, that was also happening, right? Which we have yet to discuss, but Lily Cup was also going on as well. So like there's still been a lot of StarCraft going on, so maybe they just had to take some time off in regards to the weeklies. But with that wraps up our final weekly. Actually, okay. Speaking of weeklies, if you want to take part yourself, !sign up list, !sign up list in the chat, and you'll get a link to a page here where we do have signups for all the online open cups. We have Code for Giants Cup that returns this weekend. Actually, that reminds me, I have to respond to Cosmos. He actually messaged me about that. He was like, "Yo, Pappy, you want to cast some Code for Giants Cup?" I have to tell him no, because I'm casting other stuff. Like I got no room. I got no room for Code for Giants Cup, unfortunately. But we can always do replays. True. We can always catch up via replays. We have Code for Giants Cup this weekend. We have MSO this weekend. We have StarCraft Evolution League this weekend as well. We have Tuna Cup, and of course, plenty more StarCraft the Platinum Heroes, the Return to the Platinum Heroes League, the tour. We got WardiTV Mondays, and many more events to come. So do check it all out via the sign up list. If you want to take part in in open cups or in MR restricted tournaments, then this is the place to be, to check, to look for cups, and to sign up. It's all there. All the information is available, and we have countdown timers as well. It's all there. It is all there. Meanwhile, if you want to support us here on the CranKy Ducklings and our tournaments and grow our events, you can do so via Patreon. !Patreon in the chat. Our Patreon does fund our tournaments on a regular basis. It funds our Masters 1 Open, which is this weekend, Sea Duckling Open, and Sparkling Tuna Cup. It is all funded via the Patreon, so you can support us. You can head on over there, support the scene, support the players, support StarCraft via the Patreon, if you wish. The option is there. So thank you so much to all of our current patrons, to all of our members. Thank you so much for all the support. We appreciate it. The players appreciate it as well. We'll always be running our tournaments, regardless of support, to be fair, but we always appreciate it nonetheless. Always running our tournaments, and you can help us make them even better. Thank you. Thank you so much for the support. With that does wrap up our coverage here for the week in StarCraft. Once again, just to reiterate, we'll be covering some SC Evolution events next time, and also Little League Cup as well. The reasoning why we're not covering them this time is because we are casting them via replays, and once we finish covering them, then we'll be going over the results themselves, just as a heads up. But that's going to be covered next week. We'll get there. We will get there. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Stick around. Give some love to Pig. El Chanchito is still covering Pig Fest as we speak. And we also have the WardiTV event, which I think is also starting up as well. So plenty of StarCraft. A lot is going on. Do check it out. Do support it. See you next time. Ciao. Papi ciao. See you next time.